Live. A good show. Now, I just got to say this, knowing that Jesse James, the road dog Jesse James, is now writing for Raw is very... I wondered why I've been turned off by Raw. It was depressing me. I mean, there are a few things that's going on, particularly what happened with Braun Strowman breaking that ladder was an interesting thing that happened. But the most part, yesterday, it didn't really matter to me. That's why I didn't do a review of it. So now knowing that he's doing it, it's bad. I'm just not interested. Maybe if anything happens on Raw, I will do a review of it. But as it stands, I'm not doing Raw reviews. Generally, I'm not going to do them unless it's something special, period. I've made my mind up because of Jesse James. I'm sorry. The road dog Jesse James really gets on my nerves. Now, let's get through this show. The first thing I want to talk about is Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. Now, this was a good match. It was a good match. But I got to say, it was because Becky was in it. And I am happy. I know I'm going to get flack for what I got to say. But let's be honest here. Becky is a better performer than Charlotte, period. I am not against Charlotte. She's a good performer. If she would just let go of being Charlotte Flair and just be Charlotte. She was rushed like almost every woman on the roster that came from NXT. Every last woman has been rushed. There's only one. And I've said this already before. There was only one that is polished enough that even though she is still botchy, she is polished enough to be better than the majority of the women that have come from NXT, and that is Sasha Banks. And I know I'm going to get this from one of my subscribers, Sasha Bocci. I know you're going to think that, but if I'm not the only one, there's more than a few people who see that Sasha Banks is better than the majority of the women came from NXT. It can't just be me. So I'm saying this because I see the truth of it, not because I want to jump her bones. I'm just being honest here. But when you see the match between Becky and Charlotte, Becky carried the match. She just did. Charlotte is okay when she's with a good performer that knows her. A good wrestler that knows Charlotte. She can hide her botchiness. And in this case, a lot of her botchiness was hidden because how well Becky can do the work. And it's good to see that Becky's getting some momentum going into Money in the Bank. Now, I enjoyed the interviews and the backstage segments. Samoa Joe's backstage segment was good. Who else? Big Kaz, he had it outside. I gotta say this about Big Kaz. Big Kaz does not interest me anymore. Because Big Kaz, not because he can't talk, and he can't talk. He's like Diesel. Diesel was never a good talker, but he was very high impact. Someone taught Diesel ahead of time short, controlled bursts of your talking. This is what Big Cass does not have. And on top of that, because he's jobbed to Daniel Bryan twice, not just in the ring wrestling, but got his butt kicked by Daniel Bryan, he's just irrelevant. So when you see this section, he looks so awkward talking with Renee Young, trying to get himself over. The segment was too long. He looked too awkward. He's the type of person that must have very short segments. Less than 2 minutes. A minute, maybe 2 minutes. It doesn't matter what he's wearing. It has to be very impactful. Very short, sweet to the point. No, I'm going to make him cry. What the hell is that? He's not good on the mic. You have to limit it. Just like Paul Heyman said when he was in his heyday. Accentuate the positive, hide the negative. He can't talk long. He sounds bad. So make his segments very short. Someone has not figured that out to tell him that yet. So we're going from there. The contract signing. Oh my goodness, I loved it. I don't care if everyone hated it because it was garbage. When was the last time you had a contract signing in the back? That is what set this stage so well. we've always had contract signing in the ring, which became, originally contract signings in the ring were supposed to be rare and special. Now they became commonplace and were boring. Seeing a contract signing in the back like NXT was actually quite nice. I enjoyed it. And that made me wonder, is Triple H writing for Smackdown Live? I hope he is, because then he can make it look good. But anyway, this part with Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles was done very well. Seeing that Shinsuke said, hey, the pen don't work. Throw it over his side. Can I have your pen, please? Gets the pen. Throws that one away, saying it's not working. AJ gets angry. Smacks him in the face. He takes out his own pen. He writes it up and says, last man standing. Roughly. Now, am I happy with the segment? Yes, I was. Am I happy with the match? No, I am not. This match is bullshit. They would have had a better time if it was I Quit. Let's be honest. If they're not going to do a Singapore cane match, and anyone tell me, would you like to see one? Because that would be awesome. A Singapore cane match would truly humiliate and put someone over at the same time. But if you're not going there, an I Quit match would have been better. How do you humiliate someone from knocking them out? Keeping them on the ground, incapacitate them. You don't humiliate them. It is an I Quit match that is humiliating. That is what they needed. An I Quit match would have ended this situation. But that's just me. And the segment was good. Now, let's get this over. Carl Anderson versus Luke Harper. I actually botched that a couple of times. I kept saying Gallows. Ugh. Anyway, the match really was insequential, if I'm pronouncing it right. Excuse me. What it comes down to is momentum. And the Bludgeon Brothers do not have it. Because of Road Dogg. You never really got a good feel of the Bludgeon Brothers. Particularly, I said this over and over again. It gets me angry, I botch. Luke Harper is the better talker between the two. He should have been the mouthpiece. He should have been the figurehead. I know a lot of people like Eric Rowan, but Luke is a better talker. That should have been the end of it. So when it comes down to it, you see the club of all people get a win and Carl Anderson get a win on Luke. It's understandable they got to do something different because of the writing that was before, but I just don't have a very strong interest in the tag team going into Money in the Bank. I think it's supposed to be a tornado tag match. I don't remember. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just not interested. It's just not. Maybe I'll get interested in this next week and a half. I think we got a week and a half. So I don't know. But anyway, I just don't care. Let's move on to... I gotta do this now. Naomi and Jimmy versus Aiden and Lana. You know how I love my Naomi. How I'm happy to see her working with a man. And it's good that they came out first. Seeing that Aiden is so... I hate the fact that Aiden English is a heel. I just hate it. He would be so much better as a face. Whether he's a manager or even working in the ring, he's better as a face. I really believe he can get over. But because they're still pushing Rusev Day as heels, it just feels so forced. So you get the match. A good match. It was actually a pretty good match. I had no problem with it. I did enjoy it. Admittedly, it would have been better if Rusev had been there. He could have pulled double duty. He didn't have to really interfere in the match. He just had to be there for his woman. That would have been better just letting Aiden be there. But it is what it is, and this is what we got. Sin Cara. Now, I'm sorry that I have not really been talking about Alcidos Amos and Sierra Vega. I just haven't done it because I wanted to wait to see how far they would go with them. And now that they got Sin Cara as his first feud, Almost is going to have maybe a good feud. I'm hoping for it. And seeing that Sienna Vega, sorry, I always mispronounce her name. Sienna Vega is such an incredible mouthpiece. She is one of the best managers currently in WWE. Hands down. No matter if you're talking about NXT, Raw, or Smackdown, the woman talks so well. She puts over, she could be managing, who is the worst person? Kurt Hawkins, for goodness sake. She could be managing Kurt Hawkins and probably could get him over as a loser. That's how great she is as a talker. And now that almost kicked the ass of Sin Cara, we got the feud started. But it would have been better if this was done a little bit ago. Maybe another 3 weeks ago that they built this, but he just came in and they're going to be culminating. I would rather not see this match at Money in the Bank, but they're going to put it there. I'm sure they're going to put it there. And I'm wishing they don't, but it probably will go there. Maybe at the kickoff show, I think it's going to be there. But it is what it is. This is what we get. Now, what do we got here? Oh, I got to say this. I hate Corey Graves. He sounded so bad. I can't stand it. I can't stand ya. I can't stand ya. Be either a heel or a freaking face, you pain in the ass. Why are you flipping so much? Now, let's move on to Asuka versus both. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose basically break in when Asuka was breaking in on Carmella's segment. I'm not going to mention Carmella's segment. It's not really needed to be talked about because it's just basic. She's trying to put herself over and she's trying to put Asuka over, saying that she is not the same Asuka. And then Paige comes out and does this match. Was it a good match? A very competitive match. I believe it was the best match of the night. It was a very competitive match between Mandy and Sonya Deville versus Asuka. I think Sonya Deville did the best work between the three of them. And I'm not saying Asuka isn't a professional and she didn't do great, but you got two amateurs versus a professional wrestler. Those two, they're still green. But Sonya, between the two, did a very good job. She got herself over, and she made not only Asuka look good, she made herself look good. In the end, Asuka won, tapping somebody out. Excuse me. And then you get someone in the ring. Someone gets their ass kicked in the ring, which is Asuka. And now we're going to be leading into Money in the Bank. Asuka versus Mella. Not saying money. Oh, damn, I just said money. That line, Mella is money, is not that great. But she's doing her job. She's trying to be a pain in the ass heel. That's the way it goes. That's what you get. Now, am I forgetting anything? No, I don't believe I am. Let's go to the last match of the night. The New Day and The Miz was a funny piece. I did enjoy it. There's no way you can't enjoy it. You did. Wait, am I forgetting something? Yeah, didn't forget anything. But seeing that The Miz put his hand in pancake batter was funny, and it led to the match that was already going to be scheduled. It happened. The match did happen. People are still questioning who is going to be used from New Day. I still think it should be Xavier Woods. I'm not saying it's going to be. It'll probably be Biggie Langston, but it should be Kofi Kingston because it's his time. He's been around long enough that he should be given this Money in the Bank briefcase. So it'll probably be Biggie. It should be Kofi, and my wish it'd be the Xavier Woods. Very good match. It was not boring at all. I say it was second best match of the night. Excuse me, our throat's messed up. When you look at I just can't stand Rusev as a heel. And seeing him work this match just didn't feel right. By the time The Miz threw the pancakes in the face of Rusev and Joe, it just really felt like he shouldn't have been there in the first place. But in the end, New Day wins. It gives a good shine for Biggie, and it gives a very good shine for Kofi Kingston. In the end, you got a great match. You got a great show. Well, not a great show. A very good show. Easily a B. Easily a B show. I will give it that. But there's still stuff that's going on that makes you wonder, how far are they going to rewrite SmackDown Live from what Road Dogg did? Well, I can't even say the Road Dogg isn't there because a lot of people are saying maybe Road Dogg's still involved. But how far are they going to change SmackDown Live for Fox? They got to start now. They got to make SmackDown Live look good. So hopefully this is the beginning of it. But you guys tell me. Have a good day. Have a good... I just don't like Raw with Road Dogg on it. Peace!